one guy, when we talk about the upcoming season, and he's put together, his resume is ridiculous. Should have won his third MVP. They kind of jobbed him. Was pretty bad. But we all know how good he is. And there is some pressure on one Lamar Jackson, isn't it, Rob G?
Absolutely. Now, we're about 15 minutes away from kickoff of the Philadelphia Eagles defending their Super Bowl crown here against the Cowboys. The problem is that the popular pick for popular people to win the Super Bowl this year is Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. You guys have both gone on record as saying you have the Ravens in the Super Bowl. Now, granted, Calvin's got the Lions beating him, but Rob's got the Ravens in the Super Bowl. You both have them there. And when Lamar met with the media yesterday, even though he's gone on record and saying since he's been drafted that he's going to bring a Super Bowl back to Baltimore, he's not ready to talk about it yet for this season. Take a listen.
We got to win our games. Can't go to the Super Bowl without making it to the playoffs, So we got to focus on Buffalo right now. We can't peak too soon. We can't peak. This is extremely early to be thinking about a Super Bowl,
So you guys think that Lamar may be not cracking under the pressure, but do you think he's feeling it and that's why he doesn't want to talk about it anymore?
You can go.
I don't think it's that. I just think that, at this point and, all the accolades and all the big games and all, he just has to win. And I like this. They don't need to be talking about, he knows why he's out here and why he's trying to play. And I'm not making any excuses. He had a chance last year, right, in Buffalo. Mark Andrews dropped the ball, and if he throws that ball 100 times, how many times are you going to catch it?
99.9.
Exactly, and he dropped it. There was a moment there that there could have been a comeback. Remember, he had the sloppy first half, and he marched him down in a minute and 20 seconds and could have tied the game and had a chance there, and it didn't happen. But there's nothing else to talk about. We all know how great he is as a quarterback. We all know how great the Ravens are. They're loaded. Look at their roster for the next 2 years. They're loaded. They're like that baked potato Monty had earlier. It's loaded. And there's nothing else to say other than what, Kelvin? Go out and do it. I'm good with this.
So you know who, when we were talking about it, the way you phrased it to me, Rob G, you said, is there anybody under more pressure this season than Lamar? And because of everything Rob just said, for the most part, we're on the same page. So I'm going to work backwards. Lamar is in a unique situation where he's like the football version of Allen Iverson. I think if he doesn't win, people are still going to be like, yo, you know who was my favorite to watch, period. You know who was unique, period. You know who was just different, just his own. He was just the way he did it, the style, kind of like a Michael Vick. People still love talking about Michael Vick, and he did 1/3 of what Lamar has already done. So I think he has the MVPs, he's got the great record, he's got all the stats, and I still believe Lamar Jackson is going to get one eventually. He's too good, he's still too young, his teams are always built and stacked. Lamar will get one. But if I answer the way we were talking about it earlier, Rob G, who's under more pressure? I actually believe it's Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes.
He's a made man, but really?
I'll tell you why.
Yeah, I want to hear this.
Patrick Mahomes is under more pressure because I sit next to somebody who likes to bring up the last 2 seasons for him. Validly. Completely get it. You and I both. You know I picked the Chiefs to go to Super Bowl. But what did I always say? I agree with you. Something doesn't look right. He's not quite where he used to be. Patrick Mahomes has not been Patrick Mahomes-like for the most part the last 2 seasons. Patrick Mahomes, the first 4 or 5 seasons, who were we saying he could be? The greatest of all time.
That's out the window.
He could be that. He could be better than Tom Brady. He was on his way.
He ain't even Joe Montana. Seriously.
But I'm saying we were having these conversations.
Right.
I hear you.
You know what I mean? Like it kills me. Like he was ready to be Tom Brady.
And that's a fair point, which is why I think he's under more pressure because Lamar Jackson kind of put himself in this position where he's just so unique. Patrick Mahomes has put himself in a position where he could be competing for the greatest. And if he keeps stacking up seasons like we've seen the last 2, his chances are dwindling, if not gone. So I think it's back for him to get back to being Patrick Mahomes. Now, does he need to win a Super Bowl? No. But if he comes back, 35 touchdowns, only 8 interceptions, and looking like, all right, that's the Patrick Mahomes we know. Maybe he's an MVP candidate. Then he gets right back on track.
See, I don't know about that, and I'm going to say this, and I get you with the numbers and just looking better. But he could have, we saw Tom Brady go 9 years without winning.
Right.
If he doesn't win, see like your start and your finish, people can look at you and go, yeah, Pat was, but then guess what? Lamar won those 3. You know what I mean? During that time when you're not winning,
That's
or Josh
why I'm
Allen.
saying it's important for him. Lamar is in such a unique, like we all feel like Lamar, or at least most. I know you and I do. Lamar's going to get one. He's going to be one of the best ever. He was one of the most exciting.
He's got to win.
He does have to win. But I don't feel like there's this weird pressure. I feel like Patrick Mahomes can't put up another season like that, like last season, and let's say they only go 11-6 or 10-7. Because now we're gonna start again. We know his greatness in his career.
See, I think where I disagree is that window doesn't stay open forever. You know, you got Derrick Henry's there. You got a loaded roster. Like at some point, people want to get paid. They're moving on. Like these next 2 years, if they were able to win this year, they could win another one. Say they just won back to back. Now you're a made man. Now you got your MVPs. You finally broke through. You maybe win a second one. Like there's all that stuff, and I think that's why the time is time of the essence. It's time to get there, and nobody wants to talk about it anymore. That's why I think that the next 2 years, you don't know how long you're going to have Derrick Henry. You don't know how long you're going to have some of these other pieces and star players. They got enough to get there, and they don't have to worry about their kicker worrying about the massage scandal and missing field goals because he cost him like 3 games last year.
He did. But so this is what I mean. Patrick Mahomes is 3-2.
Pirates up 5-0. Really?
No, come on, Dodgers. This is ridiculous.
Wow.
Patrick Mahomes is 3-2 in Super Bowls. If he were to win, let's say he wins this year. Now he's 4-2. We're starting to really, really, really talk about how great he is and separate himself. And to your point, he can't have a lap 7, 8, 9 years without one because there's no guarantee he's going to play as long as Tom Brady. Tom Brady played to 45. So if Patrick Mahomes, who will be turning 30, plays another 8, 9 years, and he wins 1 or 2 more, to me, he is now cementing himself in the conversation.
What happens if he doesn't win?
But that's what I'm saying. That's why. So for me, reading it as, is anyone under more pressure this season than Lamar? I believe it's him to right the ship. Because Rob Parker's, like people like you, justifiably, even Kelvin, I'll come on here and be like, yo, something's off. He ain't right. If he looks like he did the last 2 seasons, and we'll start to question, was it Tyreek Hill? Was it the younger and better Travis Kelce? Was it Eric Bieniemy? Right? We'll start to kind of be able to pick and parse and figure out, well, dang, what's going on? But if he comes out, gives us 35 touchdowns, 8, 9 interceptions, even 10, but the team goes, like I said, 13-4, and they're right back where they need to be in the AFC Championship game. And even if they lose, but you're like, that's Patrick Mahomes, then he's good. But I think he has to get back. Because if he has 3 years, Rob, where you can say Aaron Rodgers had the same numbers and again, that's not good for him. 3 years of just being,
No, I get that. I just think
Lamar's gonna Lamar.
But you got it. But it's still your window. Like you don't know how long the coach is going to be there. You don't know how long. Like you have a team. That's why everybody's picking you. They're not picking you just because they look at that team and they look at that roster and say it's loaded. And that's with a heavy AFC. Okay, that's with the Chiefs. That's with the Bills. That's with a heavy AFC. That's with Joe Burrow and the Bengals. Those, there's 4 teams right there.
Chargers, Broncos.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there are teams there, and you're still looking at them going, man, if they do everything right, are you kidding?
Let me throw one at
so
you.
This
Let
is
me
why
go.
I was talking about the pregame,
it's
all this.
It's
a lot, and that's why.
Did you know Brandon Graham when you were at Detroit at all? Because I can't think of how long his career. Were you here yet?
Yeah,
when he was
I
in
don't
Michigan.
remember.
I didn't know. Rob G, let me go full Rob G and ask you a question. And Rob G, you can be in on this too. I'm reversing the roles here. Let me ask you. What will be more disappointing or more juicy for our business, if you will? Patrick Mahomes, say they even make a wild card, but they're 10-7, barely make it. He throws the same thing, 25 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, and looks even slightly worse than last year, and obviously they don't win 15 games. Or Lamar gets in the postseason, pretty much same season stats, but just doesn't get to the Super Bowl. Let's say losing the AFC to the Buffalo Bills. What will be more, what's going on?
The juicier headline for us would be Mahomes.
That's what I mean.
And it's very similar to make an NBA reference. It was better business for us that the Lakers got embarrassed the way they did against Minnesota than it was that SGA finally broke through and won a championship.
There's no doubt. I
and
totally
that's all.
agree.
That's all I'm saying, Rob. Is that?
But I still think
3 seasons of Patrick like that.
But for Lamar, trying to finally break through, trying to get that monkey off your back. He had a great year last year. Okay,
ridiculous year.
how many years are you going to have that? Do you know what I mean? Like, and you have the weapons and Derrick Henry and all these other things. I just think that at some point you got to break through. You win that one, and then everything else happens. And I just think this is the year. A lot of people feel good about the Ravens, and a lot of people are picking the Ravens, and rightfully so.
No, listen, as long as he is healthy and Lamar for the next 6-7 years, they have a chance to compete. And I believe you and I both, he's going to get one. But I think Patrick Mahomes cannot be mid or he's okay and the team falter. I think it's important for him to get back to a Super Bowl, win it again, because he's on track to be the GOAT, and he needs this season to get back on track.
All right, 877-99 on Fox, 877-996-6369. Is any player under more pressure entering this season than Lamar Jackson? If so, who?
Who we got?
Let's start with Andre in Massachusetts. You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Dre?
Yo.
How you doing? Thanks for taking the call. No two ways about it. Lamar Jackson, obviously, it has the most pressure on him to break through and win a Super Bowl. Always a bridesmaid, never a bride, and he's had the overarching regular season. Okay, so he has this Peyton Manning phenomenon where he's a regular season MVP, has all these statistics, but no championships. And I will take it a step further. The name that has to be mentioned is Dan Marino, okay, somebody that got there early on.
His second year, second year in the league,
and was never able to get back. But Lamar, he has to get into the big game itself. He has to usurp Patrick Mahomes, and there's more pressure on him than Josh Allen because he's been a force for longer than Josh Allen. And frankly, the Ravens have put a better team around them, whereas Buffalo has gotten better by subtraction, losing Diggs. All right, the Ravens, they just keep adding talent upon talent. So he has the ability to do it. He has all the intangibles. But with him, he has to have his best games in those AFC Championship divisional rounds, where that's where he has blinked in the past. No, that's when you need your MVP performances. Save one or two of them from the regular season. Thanks for taking the call.
Hey, appreciate the call. I was wondering if we get some Josh Allen calls because obviously he would be in the mix for that. Man, take some more calls, but it looked like somebody's down in this game
already,
on the kickoff.
On the kickoff.
And that's a real, like, without even knowing, it's a real injury. He took his helmet off. He's cursing. He said, "What the blank?" You meaning like one of those ones like this ain't just like I'll be okay.
It's an Eagle, right? It's an Eagle player now. All right,
right off the bat.
Dennis in Seattle. You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Dennis?
Hey, actually, it was Darius. What's up, bro?
Oh, what's
Darius,
up, Darius?
Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I don't disagree with what people are saying, but I think that we need to segment the types of pressure that people are under. I think for the season, looking at the end of the season, sure, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, and Josh Allen, I think all for different reasons, and I'll throw Justin Herbert in there too, all for different reasons, and Dak Prescott's another one you might look at. But all those guys have season pressure, end of season pressure, right? What's going to be the end result when we look back in February? But game to game, nobody's going to have more pressure than Russell Wilson. Nobody.
What?
I called about Russell Wilson the other day.
There's no expectations on the Giants?
No, but listen, here's the reason why. The perception is this. If he loses his starting spot to Jackson Dart by not getting off to a hot start, he's done. And every time he throws an interception, and he will throw one, I mean, he's not perfect, so he throws an interception, he fumbles or misses a receiver or something happens at the end of the game, you're going to hear these chants because the expectation has been built to put in Jackson Dart. So game-to-game pressure, nobody has more than Russell Wilson. But end-of-season pressure, the guys that I mentioned are all in the same boat and for different reasons. So that's what I think.
All right.
Well, yeah, I don't. Russell Wilson. I think Russell Wilson Russell Wilson appreciates you calling for that, Darius, because nobody on earth thought that was going to be Russell Wilson for this conversation.